Hey everybody, welcome to Daily Dinners. This is us hanging out for a couple weeks or so, showing you what you could use in your pantry, teaching you some fun techniques, and no matter what you have, I will make sure that you get dinner on the table for your family. Hope everybody is doing good today. So today we're going to have a little bit of fun. I was thinking we're doing it started as beef and barley stew, and then limited with things that I could get, and then also looking at all the requests. So one of the most common requests I have gotten, and no one understands this more than me because of Lizzie, is I have vegetarians and meat eaters in the family. I'm trying to do a meal to feed both. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna kind of make a vegetarian barley stew, but I'm also gonna make little burgers, which is a little change up of the recipe that I posted. So we're gonna do little burgers with barley. So it's gonna be burger and barley. You guys can see it comes together really easy and really quick. So first thing we have is I have my pan over medium-high heat. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in the pan. Everybody's been asking all week, you're always using grapeseed oil. Today I have a little bit of olive oil. Either one will work. I have shiitake mushrooms here that I sliced. Any mushroom that you could find works. If you don't have mushrooms, eggplant would work. Different root vegetables would work. You could work in any veg here kind of that you have on hand. Mushrooms are what I have. They also, if you are pooling, if you're someone who is a vegetarian but likes kind of meaty textures and flavors, mushrooms will give you that. I'm not going to put all the mushrooms in at once. I'm going to let these start to go, then I'm going to add more, and then we'll continue to add ingredients. Another little change we made in the recipe is I put carrots in the recipe. I realized I did not have any carrots, but I do have sweet potatoes. So I'm going to use 2 sweet potatoes. Everything else is Liv, do we have any questions yet?
So Bart's actually asking, how do we post a photo of our dinners for you?
Bart, I have no technological ability whatsoever. MON dinners. If you just put it on the Food Network Kitchen Facebook page, 1.5 miles from Kyle, Krista, and our gorgeous granddaughter, Emily.
Michael, is your phone Wi-Fi off over there? Having a little bit of a low connection,
okay.
So
I'm going to shut it off. Just wait. You stay right there, Liv.
All right, guys. Well, we'll take a look at some of the food. We have some onions being cut up, some sweet, the Cleveland mug, very important.
Here we go. Okay, how are we doing? Do we have any new questions? Pages, all my social, they all have it. So you should be able to find it, no problem. Before, of all the ingredients that I have in my pantry. So onions go in, pinch of salt goes in. Is completely fine with me. I think right now, when we're going to the store a little less, skin of vegetables. So if you just wash them real good and go with it, I think you're in a good place. The brothy is how can I make them a little thicker if I want them thicker. You could always thicken with a basic roux, a little bit of flour, then you have the liquid. That will thicken like a gravy. You could also thicken with some other good thickener. This soup has, or broth or stew has barley in it. So if you also, any other questions, Liv?
Yeah, Jeanette was asking what you would replace garlic with.
And I took.
All right, we're back.
Sorry guys, technical difficulties today. We will keep it going. This is the first time this has really happened to us. So, recap. We have our red wine, our mushrooms, our barley, sweet potatoes for carrots, onions, and a little bit of marjoram simmering away in there. I made some little, like almost mini sliders, and I'm just gonna sear them. So kosher salt. A lot of people ask what kind of salt I use. I use kosher salt.
What's your saying? Kosher salt to?
I use kosher salt to cook. I use sea salt to finish. And I used iodized salt on my driveway in the winter.
Yeah.
But if iodized salt is all you have right now, use iodized salt. Because I went to the grocery store the other day and it was hard to find kosher salt. So, again, we're going to use what we have and not worry about it. So, season up the burgers. We have our pan over like a medium-high heat. You could do this in a cast iron. You could do this on a grill. Doesn't really matter.
Could you do this in a slow cooker? We have a
Burgers?
question. Well,
This? Yeah, but like, yes, you could do this in a slow cooker, but this cooks quick. But if you wanted to put it in a slow cooker, put it in a slow cooker. Remember, with a slow cooker though, you don't get really reduction. So you're gonna put in probably a third less liquid. With any slow cooker recipe, you're gonna use a third less liquid almost always. So let's see, getting hot. There we go. I'm gonna drop my burgers down. Let these caramelize up real good.
why don't you just remind everyone what we're making since we have a couple new people tuning in?
So we are making a burger and barley stew today. Hearty, delicious. You could make the vegetarian happy. You could make the carnivore happy. Everyone's happy. So that works really well. And then I'm also going to show you just a lot of people, one of the big questions we've been getting is, like, what can I serve with this? Like, I always think of complete dishes, but like, I always think the dishes are complete for a meal, but a lot of times people want an additional side, so they've been saying, what can I serve with this, Michael? What can I serve with this? Today, I'm gonna show you a basic roasted vegetable. So, broccoli, we split it in half. Stems, everything. Again, we wanna use everything now. Resources are a little bit limited for us, so we don't want to waste a thing. So the stems, I'm going to put them down. We're going to hit this with some extra virgin olive oil, a good pinch of salt, and then any seasoning or spice that you want to add right now, like ones that are your favorite, would work great on here.
What are your personal favorite?
I have a little bit of za'atar that I'm just going to sprinkle right on top of these and let them just kind of caramelize. But coriander would be great, cumin would be great, just little salt and pepper would be great. And when these come out, they're going to caramelize up, and I'm going to serve them with the dish with a little bit of grated Parmesan. So those go. Clean up our board. Okay. Crazy today, Liv. We're cutting out.
We're making it work.
Making a mess. Do we have any other questions?
We have a question from Candace, just asking, what made you want to be a chef?
What made me want to be a chef? Well, Candace, I started working in restaurants in high school. My mom will tell the story different, but I wasn't the greatest of students. But I really loved the restaurant business. My father said, "You're going to college." I went to college. I flunked out of college. Then I went to culinary school, and here I am. So it all worked out for me, which is good. All right, so look at these guys. And this is, when you're doing a burger, guys, don't move them around. You see, I put them in the pan, and I just kind of walked away. I did some other things, and we really want to let that crust develop. And that's where you really get that great flavor in a burger. So we're gonna let the other side sear like that, and then just finish them in the oven to whatever your preferred temp is. I'm a mid-rare burger guy. A lot of people like them well, rare, mid-well. However you like them, make them. That is the key with the hamburger.
Why do you finish them in the stove?
To cook them the rest of the way through.
Got it.
So, you know, you can do them from beginning to end on the stove top. It's just sometimes easier to finish them in the stove. I also found I'm gonna use a little bit of parsley in here too. If you have any fresh herbs floating around.
Dana's asking, what temperature and how long are you leaving the broccoli in for?
I am at 500 degrees, and it's gonna take, I'm gonna say 8 to 10 minutes. We'll give it a shot. I want it to get some caramelization. I want it to still have some texture and be a little bit al dente, and just let that cook up. So I had some flat leaf parsley in my fridge that I'm just going to add to the barley at the end. Again, not a necessity, just an addition. You don't have to use it, but any soft herb would work with you. I'm using flat leaf parsley. Basil would be nice. tarragon would be nice. If you like cilantro, cilantro would be nice. Any of the soft herbs. If we were going to use a harder herb like rosemary, sage, oregano, we would have put it in earlier in the cooking procedure.
Lori's asking, how do you clean your cutting board?
I clean it with soapy water, scrub it real good, rinse it off in the sink, dry it. Sometimes I'll rub it with salt and then condition it with oil so it doesn't dry out. All right. The burger's gonna go in.
Good, that sizzle was a little loud.
I'm a loud sizzler. Sorry. The sizzle. Were people having trouble hearing me over the sizzle?
Yeah, but it's a good sound, so it's okay.
All right, let's give this a taste. And you can see how this is starting to thicken up really nice.
How is it?
It's pretty good. Needs a little bit of salt.
How long will those burgers stay in the oven for?
Couple minutes. Okay. But again, I won't mind medium rare, medium at the most. It's going to depend on how you like yours cooked. Is what's going to decide how you do them.
Angeli's asking if she could have used butter for broccoli instead of the oil.
Yeah, you can use butter. No problem. You don't have to melt it first, obviously. Just melt the butter a little bit, cover it with butter, and it would be great. All right, give this a stir. This is about ready. Make sure that my sweet potatoes are tender. They should be. They are. Turn the heat off that. And once the heat's off, we're going to put in our flat leaf parsley. Give that a nice stir.
Jackie said the sizzle was very loud, but I could almost taste it.
Yes. I love when you could taste the sizzle. It means we're doing something right.
Can you, we have someone asking if you can safely cook both meat and veggies in the same pan, or should you use two different pans?
100% you can. Yeah, 100%. They're both cooking. You guys, remember, when things are 160 degrees, like, kills stuff. So once you're above 160 degrees, things can be cooking in the same pan and so forth. You don't have to, you need to worry about raw cross-contamination. Like you don't want to have a raw piece of chicken here with a piece of vegetable.
So you would use
a vegetable that you're going to then eat raw.
So would you use two separate cutting boards?
You could use two separate cutting boards, but yeah, I always try to use a separate cutting board for meat and a separate cutting board for vegetable.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Lance is asking, what's your favorite beverage to drink with your burgers?
My favorite, I have two favorite beverages, Lance, beer and bourbon. And that's what I consume with most beverages. Right now, my beer fridge is a little lean. I kind of, my world of beer is,
Woo!
I either like a really good cheap beer, like I call them a good lawn cutting beer, or I like sours. So I like a really cold cheap beer or a good lawn cutting beer. All right, so these burgers are beautiful. I'm actually going to put this sweet down first. So, all right, so here's the deal, watch. If you want to do, if it's for veggies, obviously I put a burger in there already, so pretend I didn't put the burger in. But if it's just for veggies, this is great, like so. If you want to carnivore it up, you top it with your little burger.
Oh, that looks good. We have a fan asking, what are your thoughts on using a meat alternative for this?
Meat alternative is fine. I'm not, I don't object to them at all. Use whatever your favorite meat alternative is. I just put some little poppy mustard seeds on top. Cleveland caviar, as we like to call it. Let's see how the broccoli's doing. Oh yeah. There we go. Some really good color on the broccoli. So the broccoli's got another second, and then I'm gonna plate that. Do we have questions as this is sitting?
Yeah, so someone asked, if you use butter for the broccoli, will it burn the broccoli?
No, it'll just caramelize it a little bit faster, that's all. Milk salads are gonna cook a little quicker, so not a big deal. But the caramelization on vegetables is really good. Most vegetables I actually like taking to the point right before they, like, I like that deep caramelization. You know, preference is everyone could prefer a little bit different, but that's how I really enjoy it. But you know, if you don't like your vegetables on the darker side, you could go a little bit lighter, or if you like them cooked more or less, cook them more or less. People get too caught up in like like sometimes I'll make a burger on a cooking show, and people go, "Oh my God, why are you telling everybody to eat medium rare burgers?" I'm not. This is just how I like it. You guys should make it how you like it. That's the beauty of food. There's not like these crazy rules. You should always eat food the way you like it. That's what makes food delicious.
Mo is asking, what are your thoughts on breaking up the burger and distributing it in the stew?
Totally good. No problem. I mean, initially what I was going to do, Mo, was I was going to brown all the beef together and make a stew. But then we were getting so many questions about vegetarians and carnivores living together and how we could get a meal on the table for both of them, that this is what I came up with today. So this came out, and right when it comes out and it's hot, I'm going to top it with a little bit of parm or any hard cheese, so that cheese just kind of melts on there.
We have a fan asking, what is Liz's favorite dish that you cook?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All of them.
Oh, you know, Liz, I make a pasta like a really citrusy, like a lemon breadcrumb garlic olive oil pasta that Liz really, really loves. But yeah, it's she likes most things that I make, fortunately. All right, let's give this a taste. So here's our burger barley stew. Really good. The little pop of mustard is really nice at the end. I mean, you could do all kinds of fun little burger garnishes on here if you want. The broccoli.
We have a couple fans asking for a substitute for barley if they're allergic.
If you're allergic to barley, I don't know what your allergy is, but it might be wheat. But I mean, any rice would work. Farro would work. Quinoa would work. Any kind of grain like that. So I'm assuming if you say barley, maybe you have a wheat allergy. Farro actually wouldn't work, but quinoa and rice would work. See, I love get these little burnt ends. Vegetables still crunchy, really tasty. Actually, it's a great side to go. Big piece of broccoli, soup, mouthful of food. You guys, thank you. There's tons of other recipes on the Food Network Kitchen app from myself and all the chefs on the network. We will be back tomorrow doing this 7 days a week, as long as I can keep it running for you guys. You could also remember hashtag Simon Dinners, and then tag Food Network, tag myself, Chef Simon, because the more pictures you get us and the more people you could tag some friends, the more people you get following this whole thing, we could really create this big fun family. You guys keep throwing me questions, I'll keep trying to give you answers, we'll keep cooking together, and we're gonna get through this whole thing together. One dish, one day at a time. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 5 o'clock.